up to that cabin on the hill. Uncle Rob took off for Hollywood. He said, son, come on, you know you should. They've got all them stars driving big fancy cars. I said, I bet they ain't got one single still. I'll just stay in my cabin on the hill. Mama, when you see Roxheart, you might think you've seen it all. You might place that's twice as pretty. If you want to find a thrill, I promise you, you will. Come on up to that cabin on the hill.
Fuck you, child. You will learn the wisdom of your brother.
No offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
Well, welcome, you knuckleheads. Hang on. I got to get the chat up there. One moment. Hang on. Let's get the chat up in the stream so you guys can see your beautiful comments, your beautiful verbiage that all the kids... Shut up, Jaffe. No, you shut up. Yeah. What am I looking for? Chat box. Shut up, Ace. Yeah, I got him. What's up, fellas? I can't hear with these goddamn earmuffs. Hang on. Goddamn. All right, what's up, Ace? My nephew's in the chat. There's old Daniel Crawford. That's Daniel Crawford's uncle right there. Anthony Crawford with his wife playing, they're in a band called Sugarcane Jane playing Cabin on the Hill. They're quite good. They're a little crazy. I'll be honest with you. They're a little crazy when it comes to the MAGA, but I love them anyway. Not Daniel, Anthony. But that's okay. He probably thinks I'm fucking out of my fucking mind. But he tried to teach me how to play guitar when I was a little wee lad. My brother was able to pick up on it. I couldn't quite pick up on it. But hell, I think all of them, my brother-in-law and his brother Anthony, and then all of the kids, at least Scott and Daniel, who you see in the chat from time to time, and my brother Philip, they all play guitar. And my daughter plays guitar, and my son plays guitar. Fuck. Anyway, yes, I have a shiny... What is the deal with bald? What is the problem? When did this start with this generation? That you guys care so much about you guys are so bamboozled, hoodwinked, and Plymouth Rocked. It's ridiculous. Somewhere along the lines, someone convinced you that being bald as a man, I mean, as a woman either, is a bad thing. Who gives a shit? God damn. You guys are vain as fuck. I want to talk about manhood for a moment. I mean, seriously. If you're out there trying to be some kind of badass alpha dude and you give a fuck about your hair, here's a news flash. You're not the alpha dude you think you are, because you give a fuck about your hair. No, says Morgan. Jaffe is just scared. It was bad back in your gen too. It won for me. Because my dad was bald and I thought my dad was cool. I didn't think he was cool like Fonzie. Wink. Because I was a kid and happy days. Dark Cloud says, Jaffe, I'm a member of your generation. I still have all my hair. That's great. That's wonderful. Enjoy that. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, point is, who gives a shit? Shut up, Addie Pie. I'm not in the mood for you, but I'll read your comment because it creates content for me, which creates money for me. Jaffe, you're equating not giving fucks with being alpha. They're two different things. No, they're really not. No, they're really not. Apathy is the strongest superpower on the planet. Not giving a fuck gives you the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to do, to say whatever the fuck you want to do, to think and express yourself however you want to, Addie Pie. That couldn't be more alpha. You can be the strongest motherfucker in the gym. Let me tell you something. I know a guy who is a big dude, buff dude, and relatively charismatic dude. On paper, check, 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 check. Okay? The motherfucker cannot walk past a window without checking his reflection. I don't mean a mirror. I mean, you're walking down the street in the gas lamp with the fella, and he can't go past the goddamn window without checking himself. Okay? So, I don't understand. Eric says only ugly people talk about not caring. Of course, caring wouldn't change a thing. You actually have it backwards, right? If you are an average looking person like myself, or a little bit higher or a little bit lower, you can actually work to bring yourself up. If you're naturally good looking and you wake up looking good, trust me, bitch, you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. This is a show about video games, I guess. Welcome to Jaffe Talks Games. Today's kind of a casual show because I have a chat with my good pal, who for some reason people think is not my good pal, Colin Moriarty. That's coming up at 1 o'clock California time. So we don't have a lot of time this morning. And also Tech Protect and I are working on getting a bunch of shit out for marketing. And then we have an afternoon show, of course, coming up. So, it's going to be kind of a loosey-goose show today. I hope you don't mind. If you want to call in, by the way, I'm taking phone calls today. We have OBS working again today. And I will tell you about OBS today. We've been getting some weird packet losses, so we're tracking it. So if everything kind of gets chunky again, just refresh. But I think we've got it solved. And if not, we have a little packet loss checker out there. But if you do want to call into the show, let me put it in the top of the stream right now for you. You'll be calling in on OBS on Collab Cam. Generate a new link, copy. All right, here it is right now. Call into the show. There you go. So you can either call in on the Discord or you can call in by clicking the link at the top of the stream, and I will bring you on. Okay. How are you able to stream Cyberpunk with max settings but can't run a stream? Because, Addie Pie, I stream Cyberpunk off of GeForce, which is one of the reasons I like GeForce Now so much, which is I don't have to do anything. I just have to sort of go to GeForce and go, I want to play that. And it says, do you own it? And you're like, hey, I own it, and it'll play it for you, and it's no fuss, no muss. William says, Jaffe, why do some content creators like Vera Dark, etc., feed off of only producing negative content? Because it works, man. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it works. It absolutely works. And look, I mean, I'll give you an example. So I try very hard to walk a balanced line because I like drama, by the way. I don't produce drama just because I'm trying to get clicks, although it don't hurt. Can't stop laughing. It's a disease. It don't hurt, but I like drama when it's something I feel passionate about, right? So we are probably going to be going on a stream next Thursday, and I will announce it so you know if you don't like the drama. this is not a problem. Just don't watch that particular stream. And it's going to be a debate. I'm not holding it. Somebody invited me to it, and I said, I would love to come on it, about has wokeness harmed video games? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll be on that panel, right? And so in that sense, it's a good dramatic topic. I feel passionate about it, but I don't want my channel to be all about that, right? But the fact is, it works. Yeah, Avoid says tribalism is millennia old to manipulate idiots. I mean, people love to confirm their biases, says Jojo Munger. It's true. It's true. And by the way, William says answer is yes. Wokeness has harmed video games and developers. Again, if you want me, as I prepare for this, if you want to send me some links today, we can look at them briefly. I'm not going to make the show about that, but we can look at them together and see, or I'll prepare in advance, because my mind is open. But I think the first thing you have to do when you're actually defining has wokeness harmed video games is ask yourself, what does woke mean? Right? Because I think everybody has lots of different views of what that means. But assuming you can land on a definition of wokeness, then you can absolutely go down the process, as a real intellectual exercise of has it harmed the art form, the medium, the business? Absolutely. BT Maverick, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He said, I appreciate it. He says, have you tried Cabin Inspector yet? Great short horror indie game on Steam for $2.99. Highly recommended. I own it. I bought it. I'm hearing a lot about it. I will absolutely be playing it this week, and I'll probably stream it. I assume I should stream it. But yes, BT Maverick, I'm very aware of it. It looks very cool. If you don't know, at least in BT, correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding of the game is you are an inspector of fuck it, I'll put the trailer on while we're talking, but you are an inspector of cabins, and it's kind of one of those games where you have to go in and make sure there are no anomalies in the cabins that come down the assembly line. It's a very bizarre, delightful concept. Let's see. Cabin Inspector game. And then obviously things all start to go bad, basically, is what it is. I have Withering Rooms, Avoid the Void. Hang on. I have not played it yet, but I own it. I have it, and it's on my list of things that I absolutely want to play. So we'll look at Cabin Inspector in just a couple of minutes. Absolutely. Where did that go? There we go. Have I tried Phasmophobia? I have. I liked it. It was fine. I need to kind of spend more time with it though. Because I was playing it online I think I was playing like Rob and Spazbo and some other people, and I didn't quite understand it, and they understood it, and they spent half the time trying to explain it to me, and so I need to kind of get back into it. William says, why I said yes. Look at Dustborn, Concord, etc. People found out the game tried to cater to DEI and it flopped. Those are just two examples. The problem with that, William, though, is that you are making assumptions that you have no evidence to back up, right? So if you look at Dustborn wore its DEI bona fides on its sleeve. It was meant to be a far left progressive statement game. But it's a little small indie game. It wasn't like Concord that was $100, $200, $300, $400 million experience. And in that, it's like, what did you expect? How often do any of those fucking games do well? Small little indie games. I mean, but Concord, I would argue, and again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying I think you have to have the evidence of, was Concord unappealing, or did Concord fail? Just because you say it's woke doesn't mean that's why it failed. And it may have contributed, but it also could be that the character designs were really unappealing. It also could be that you already had Overwatch, and you also were seeing Marvel Rivals drop their beta when Concord was doing their beta, and those were free games of the exact same, both of which I think are better, although I do think the shooting in Concord, there's some good stuff about the gameplay of Concord, but I think there's a lot of reasons that you have to drop in before you can just plant a flag and say that game failed because it was woke. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that if you're going to enter into that discussion in good faith, I think you got to be real. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Talk to the hand. you gotta, make sure that you're not sort of dealing with confirmation bias, basically, when it comes to things that you're calling facts. Okay. Did you guys see the Daredevil trailer, Daredevil Born Again? I can't show it to you on the stream, obviously, but my goodness, I'm excited I'm excited for the trailer, for the show. I enjoyed very much the Netflix series. Obviously, this is sort of, they're integrating it more into the MCU, and I hope it's paced better than the Netflix Marvel shows. I liked the Marvel Netflix shows, but they were all kind of hard to get through. They were a little bit long and a little bit cumbersome, but I still really enjoyed them. Hopefully this is going to be better paced, but holy shit, the trailer came out for Daredevil Born Again that comes out in March 14th, and it looks so good, and it's nice to know it's going to be bloody and brutal, and a character shows up in the trailer who I'm like, oh my God, that's so awesome to see that character in the trailer. I don't know who. One of the character, it may be Daredevil. I am a Daredevil fan, but I'm not so much of a fan that I can recognize when somebody pulls on a certain mask. And this isn't the character I'm talking about, by the way. But is it like White Tiger or something might be in it? But that's not the person I'm talking about. The person Mark just spoiled it. He just said the Punisher returns. Yeah, the Punisher is in the trailer. Oh, it looks so good. And Daredevil and Kingpin sitting there having breakfast. Oh, delightful. Okay, anyway, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Dougie Jones says, these anti-woke crusaders are exhausting and just as insufferable as what they despise. They kind of are. I know. Is AC Shadows considered woke? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it looks great. And do you know what? I know it's in the trailer, but if you haven't seen the trailer yet, then, I want you to have that experience fresh. But anyway. Did you see also that they're making... I knew this is kind of a known thing, but you mentioned Assassin's Creed Shadows. Apparently, once Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, they're going to officially announce the date for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, which is getting a total visual redo, new mechanics, and the rumor is it could be coming out as quickly as November 2025. And that is, I think, many people's favorite Black Flag game or Assassin's Creed game. I am very curious if they're going to be bringing some of the water effects, because the pirate ships in Skull and Bones from Ubisoft were amazing, and to sort of take that pirate ship combat and sort of integrate it into Black Flag, I think would be fucking amazing. But yes, so yeah, Rob the Mod, I'm excited as well. I loved it. But again, yes, I am excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think it looks really, really good. The mechanics look really, really cool. Soggy J says Skull and Bones was a cell phone game. I mean, I don't know about that. I think there were some good things to say about Skull and Bones, but it didn't hold my interest. You know what? I've gone back to spending some time, though, in Sea of Thieves. I still sometimes can't get over. I would say Sea of Thieves is, for me, and I'm not like an aficionado of MMOs, but I would say that Sea of Thieves is the best. It feels so immersive. It's like the best immersive in terms of the setting and the art and the sound. It really feels like you're there when you're sailing your pirate ship and you go sit up on the mast as you just got it moving in one direction, and the stars come out and you can just kind of sit there and, it feels like you're really in that world, man. It's fucking excellent. You guys can bitch about Skull and Bones all you want. And that's fine, but all it shows is you didn't really play it for more than 5 minutes, and that's fine too. But I didn't spend hours and days, but I played about 10 hours of that game, maybe a little less, 8 hours. And I thought it was cool. It wasn't anything I really, once you got off the ship, I thought it was rubbish, but sailing around in the ship combat, I thought was pretty good. But certainly nothing that I want to spend real time with, but to just beat up on it because it's in vogue. What is that like? You know what? That's the video game nerd equivalent of being in high school and hating someone just because the popular kids hate them. Have you actually played it? Rob says, play Sea of Thieves on PS5 with me and the guys. I'm trying to get a game my daughter and I can play together because she doesn't play much, and I'm thinking she might like Sea of Thieves. So if you scallywags got... Ace is looking at me like, I hope you choke and die. If you scallywags got room for 2 more on your pirate... I vomited into bed. I just laid it. I'm not even fucking with you. But yeah, I like the game. I thought it was really, really good. Okay. Do you ever think PlayStation will remake Twisted Metal? I don't know, Sargama, but I will tell you this. So, you may have seen this video I put up last night based on one of our members who, now this is fascinating to me. This guy, I think his name is Anthony, made this game. Is it Anthony? Tech Protect. What is this guy? I think it's Anthony, right? He made a fan-based Twisted Metal game. It looks really fucking good, and I will be trying to get it played today or tomorrow. We're going to be trying to get him on the show later in the week or next week for a little interview discussion about this game. And my understanding, this is not only is it Twisted Metal, not only does it look good, but apparently Angel is his name. Okay, thank you, Anthony. Angel is his name. Apparently all of the code is AI based. Like he used, I guess, ChatGPT or something to, he got the models and everything, but it was all put together and created with artificial intelligence, like with code that was written by the computer, which is fucking amazing. If it plays, I mean, seriously, you guys, if this fucking thing plays well, and I haven't played it yet, what else do you need? You can release a game. I mean, you still got to be smart. You got to understand how systems come together and everything works. I'm not saying it's just like you typed in, make me a game, although that's coming. But that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to this. It looks great. Yeah, it could be a mobile game. I know. It's a one-man band making a fan project. I get it. But do I think Sony will ever go back to Twisted Metal? I think they would be foolish not to, but I think there are certainly some things that have to be done to make it relevant for today's audiences, and I think that's a hard nut to crack, man. But possibly, I hope so. I'm glad the TV series is good. Do I have ideas for a new Twisted Metal? I do. I haven't forever, and then I finally came up with one that I think would actually be quite exciting. William says the first thing I would do to type to AI if I can make a game is make me Red Dead Redemption 3 and make it a 100-hour game. I mean, look, you guys know what I think about AI. I think it's delightful. I think it's excellent. And what you're basically asking for is not terribly far away. Okay. Let's move on, though. Oh my God. Okay, I want to tell you about this. So last night, I almost uninstalled Marvel Rivals. So, I actually did uninstall Marvel Rivals, but I did it because I wanted to put it on my SSD because I had inadvertently installed it on the normal, the hardware, whatever. What's it called? Solid state drive, and this is the hardware drive. I don't know what the HDD is, but the one that's slower and built with mechanical parts, blah, blah, blah. Come on, Jaffe, shut. Don't talk about what you don't know. I put it on the faster drive. Fuck you. And first off, it was delightful that I could do that, but I'm not messing with you. I'm not messing with you on this. This is why I almost uninstalled it a second time. Okay. Is because the first game I got into, I was playing the Punisher, who's the guy I'm trying to get good at. And believe it or not, I did like 32 kills in a match. And I was like, okay, are these all bots? They weren't, but I'm sure some of them were. And I'm like, holy shit, maybe I found a game I'm pretty good at. So I jumped into the next game. The next game, I didn't get a single kill. I was just getting decimated left and right. And at first I was just like, you know what, man? I don't want to play this game because it doesn't make any sense to me why I'm good at one point and why I'm bad at another point. And believe it or not, I had Bukaki Drive-By's voice in my head where he's like, geez, man, must suck to have to play a game you got to get good at. You know, Bukaki, he's fucking, 3 sheets to the wind half the time. But anyway, he says that, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go to the internet. Let me read a little bit about the character. Maybe I can get better at it. And, and lo and behold, I spent some time last night playing it and actually going, okay, I think I get this. And I started to do better consistently, and I started to really get into the game. And so I'm back in love with it a little bit, right? It wasn't so much, Soggy says you can't win them all. It wasn't the fact that I won one and lost one. It was the fact that there was such a gap between one game where I'm just ripping apart the enemies and another game where I can't take 5 steps and I'm dead almost seemingly instantly. That I was like, okay, I don't know how to get better at this game. I don't understand what the point of this game is if it's this, but anyway, and then I started thinking about the conversation we had yesterday about manuals and video games and strategy guides and things like that. And it's like, it really is so interesting to me that the younger generation, absolutely understandably, by the way, to them, I don't think they look at going to the internet to watch a YouTube video or going to the internet to learn how to play a game or learn the nuances of, like, let me go to Reddit and understand how the weapon scaling works in a From Software game. To that generation, I think that's just their version of having a manual like that I grew up with. And to me, I had always been like reticent to do that because I'm like, well, yeah, but the game is supposed to teach me how to play it. And if it doesn't do it, then that's a problem with the game. And while I still believe that, I do think maybe the reason I don't connect with certain games that younger generations might connect with or be more patient with is because to them, it's not even a thing to think about running to the internet to get to not mastery but understanding of a game. So even something like this, realizing that I could, and again, I don't want to bore you with details of Marvel Rivals if you're not into it, but I'll just give you a quick example. So the Punisher has this grappling hook, right? That you throw out this grappling hook, and it's how he traverses the environment quickly, because otherwise he's a really fucking slow as fuck character. There you go, like that, right? Well, what I didn't realize is you can string those together over multiple lives, up to 3. So you can actually, I know this is like basic to you guys, but you can basically create a system of up to 3 grapples to get you moving across that battlefield really fucking quickly, right? Or that grenade he just launched right there gives you kind of like a rocket boost. So a lot of times if you want to, if you're trying to attack a group of enemies, you don't just use the grenade smoke screen to block views. You can use it to get a high vantage point and then come down and attack people who are below you. These are things that if you watch a video, it just tells you. But why would I watch a video? I'm a kid who grew up, and I'm a designer that came up designing games going, if I need you to know that information, I'll put it in the game. Admiral Kurd says, and again, if you're watching this and you didn't come up with manuals or you didn't come up with anything but strategy guides, you have been the frog in the boiling pot of water. You didn't realize what was happening, but the onus on getting good at a game or teaching you a game has moved away from the game. And it's moved on to other people's responsibility, and you guys are just used to it, but it's taken me some time to adjust. When you said that, says Admiral, about wanting a physical map yesterday, kids do have that in a manual. It's just an interactive game map, right? It's exactly it's not Addy Pie. It's not something you learn by playing the damn game. I am sorry. I will debate you, and I will demand that you provide statistics, because I think you're wrong. The vast majority of people that know about things in, let's just take Elden Ring, okay? The vast majority of people that know about things in Elden Ring, like if you read the Elden Ring strategy guide, which I have, it's a beautiful strategy guide, and you understand if you kill this guy or don't do this, or you engage with this character before this character, or you do this quest before this quest, that is not something you learn by playing the game. That is something either you stumble onto and maybe you've done 5 playthroughs of the game and you start to picture it and figure it out, or you go online or your friend who went online tells you. I'm sorry, but you're just simply fucking wrong. The vast majority of this nuance, yes, I'm not saying there aren't aspects that you pick up through playing, but I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, but you're just fucking wrong that you can just, I intuitively figured out how to do Katana's friendship move. No, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't. The game tells you every ability. Yes, Yeti, it tells you what to do or how to do it. But no, it doesn't tell you anywhere in that menu that you can string these things together. The zip lines, for example. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. The more you play, the more you learn. I get that, of course, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. But I'm sorry, but there's a lot of this stuff that comes from the manuals and shit online. I think it might be ADD, says Rob, because I just don't bother looking up how to play. Yeah, but we're talking about something different, right? Whether or not you, like, I bothered to go look up how to play last night. The fact is, though, it's not in the game. It's something you have to find outside. Addy Pie, you're such a troll. Addy Pie says, are games supposed to info dump 5-hour-long tutorials on players then? If the best that the game developer can do is info dump, then that's a problem with the game. That's a problem with the developer, right? How hard would it have been when the Punisher sends his zip line out? The next time you respawn, there's just a little arrow pointing above it and going, bing, bing, bing. Hey, this is still here, or whatever. Shut up. Listen to this. I bought my games used, says Carlos, super chat. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, Carlos Hernandez. So they rarely had a manual. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you on that, 100%. The other thing I'll tell you is, though, somebody was mentioning the idea of interactive maps. Now when you think about it, the maps now that you can get, they're better. They're better than using a strategy guide. They're better than being, using a manual. Right? You can go in now and it's just, this is the Elden Ring map. Obviously, you have to, hide all, and then you can say, okay, I want to look for, what are they called? The great sites of grace, which is where you can save and level up and all that, right? You're not going to get this in today's games or old games on the internet because it didn't exist. It's really cool. Your analogy to online min-maxing was old manual. I don't understand Avoid the Void. My analogy? Yeah, but... Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, my analogy of... what you needed to play the game used to be put in the manuals, or it used to be put in the game itself. Now, a lot of game developers are just going, you know what, it'll be on the internet. Let's not put any development time into it. Addy Pie, I'm just smarter than you and I demand more. He says, I think you're asking for way too much because as you get older, you pay less attention. When you're younger, there are obvious things. They're not obvious things, Addy Pie. I'm sorry, it's not obvious to know, and you're a moron. It's not obvious to know that if I go to this mission before this mission for some magical fucking reason that only maybe makes sense in George Martin's head and Miyazaki's head, that this mission will now no longer be available. There's nothing about being young or old or cognitively sharp or observant that suggests why this mission goes away because you chose this mission first. Not happening. Not true. So anyway, I just disagree with some of you guys. I'm sorry. I think games, look, I'm a guy, most you guys in the chat have never designed a fucking game. okay? A professional game. I've made big hits and I've made big failures, but every time I have sat in focus test rooms with people, play test rooms, and I have watched them struggle and I have watched them give low ratings to the game because they didn't know what to do. And the minute we sent somebody into the test room and said, explain to them how you fucking do the boomerang move on roadkill, you see their eyes light up and go, ooh, and suddenly they're having fun. So don't fucking tell me that when you make games, part of your job is figuring out how much of that valve to open up to let the audience know how to play it, and how much of it is that sense of self-discovery or discovering on your own, oh, that's a neat strategy. And then don't tell me that alchemy, that magic of what is discoverable and what is crucial to tell before you start doing things is not something important on the part of the developer. You are absolutely giving the game developers too much fucking rope. Avoid says you're completely cut off from the modern multiplayer scene. No, I'm not. I played more Call of Duty than you probably do. I'm not good at it, but I play a lot of it. I play shit tons of Hearthstone. I play shit tons of Marvel Rivals, and now I'm playing shit tons of Hearthstone and Marvel Snap, and now I'm playing shit tons of Marvel Rivals. What are you talking about? Shut up. I'm not getting into it with you, Avoid the Void. You lack basic knowledge. Oh. You know what? I'm going to ban Avoid the Void in a second. I can't tell if you're trolling, but what a absolutely rude, obnoxious statement. You know what? Tech Protect, do me a favor. Get Avoid the Void out of here. Get him out of here. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Don't do it, really. I'm kidding. But I'm so fucking tired. And listen, I got a comment on my... I need to get better at this. In fact, Tech Protect, are you there? Can you jump on the mic real quick in the call-in show? Even Tech Protect says, handled by Rob. Don't fucking pass it off to Rob, Tech Protect. Here's the challenge I have, is that I have a hard time determining when someone is trolling, because I know I've gotten comments in YouTube that have said, Jaffe, I love your show, but you give the trolls too much attention. And I don't think they're wrong. I just don't know. I don't know sometimes when it's something I should engage with and when I should ignore it. How do I know that? How does somebody know that? Oh, well, Jaffe, you just got to get good. You just got to stream more. Is that what it is? Kajina says, Tech Protect, let's give a shout out every time people donate to the stream. What are you talking about? I give shout outs, Gina. I'm mad today. I'm not really mad today, but I don't understand. Are you saying I've missed some chats where people have donated ducats? I just started Baldur's Gate and don't know that much about D&D, and I'm interested to see how I get along, Matthew says. Yeah, it's a great it's a great point, Matthew. Baldur's Gate is another example of a game where the map in Baldur's Gate doesn't really make a lot of sense when it says to when it says where the next mission is. It's confusing. Nobody's shitting my corn pops this morning, K-Nubs, but I think, honestly, joking aside, I think what it is it's this culture of everybody's an expert because they want to be. And I've done so much more when it comes to game design. And I don't mean this like I'm the shit. I've made terrible flop games. And I've also made huge hit games, right? But my batting average is average, okay? But everybody's a fucking expert. When Avoid the Void comes in here and tells me, even though I play tons of multiplayer games, and he's like, I think what he's talking about when he says Jaffe doesn't even understand the basic matchmaking. If you honestly think, Avoid the Void, my complaint with Rivals was, I don't understand. I won a bunch and then I lost a bunch. Yeah, I understand. They may be because I've reinstalled the game or trying to figure out what my aptitude is so they can put me in the matchmaking algorithm. Guess what? I've worked on matchmaking algorithms before for Twisted Metal and Drawn to Death. I have a lot more experience with it than you do, okay? I understand that. That wasn't what I was talking about, okay? I was talking about the fact that the player experience, when you experience such a wild swing between success and failure as the algorithm is searching for the number for the matchmaking that you will fit into that bucket, the actual experience of that, because in Rivals the swings are so wild, you can be forgiven for going, that is too much. And in that, it sends a message to the player that they don't really understand what the fuck is going on. If you actually think the average consumer of a video game like Marvel Rivals is going, oh yeah, I understand what's happening, they have the algorithm for the matchmaking system set a little bit too... Shut up, you moron. You think that's what most people think of when they play a fucking video game? You got rocks in your fucking head? There you go, Bukaki. That's right. Okay. So as gamers, we should reserve the right to judge games as harshly as we wish. Yeah, of course you should, Dark Cloud. But no one's saying you shouldn't. But what you shouldn't do, I mean, you should, you have every right to if you want to, but what I take issue with is when you are talking to someone at all like they're an idiot, let alone someone who's got a hell of a lot more experience in this than you do, just because you think you're a fan and you know more than I do. Fuck you. Not you, but, you know, avoid the void. Okay. Is this good or bad that I'm so angry, Gina? Gina says, well, she's talking to somebody else at this point, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of annoyed at it. Tech Protect, somebody call me. I need to talk about that. Am I overrated? Fuck you, bitch. You being alive is overrated. Your parents every night sit there and go, should we have done this? I don't know, man. I tried to pull out, but, you know. Okay. I just feel games these days prioritize the onboarding of games, of a game's UI without giving context. I agree. Onboarding is terrible these days in video games. Yeah, you don't see anybody with Avoid the Void because Rob kicked him out. Just pisses me off, man. Pisses me off. Remember the sponsors. Look, this is who we are. This is what the show is. You know, sometimes it's this, but it's not always. I mean, I'm a joyful, happy person. Thank you, Jay Styles. 13 months. He says, you're the man, Jaffe. Thank you, buddy. Right. Okay. Gina, you know what? Gina says, remember the sponsors. Bukaki has a point. Look, if you're thinking of sponsoring the show, this is it. This is what it is. It's honest, it's raw, it's genuine. I am not going to be one of those guys. I don't want to. And you don't want to sponsor me if you need me to be one of those guys. Move along. Okay? Move along. But if you're one of the people that says, I like the cut of his jib, first off, look up jib because I don't know what it is either. And second of all, we could make magic together. We can make magic together. Okay. Jaffe, what's the matter? You doing all right? You're pretty angry lately. No, I'm not. I'm not angry at all lately. I feel pretty good. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to get pushed around by fucking assholes. There's a point where whether you're a medical doctor, okay, and people are telling you about COVID, or you're a game designer that did it for over 20 years, and people are fucking telling you, you don't understand how matchmaking works. There's a point where you go, you know what? Sit down, you fucking whore. There's only so much sort of kind of grace I can offer you when it comes to being a guy who is like sitting around going, okay, well, I want everyone to feel welcome. And then it's like, you know what? Sit the fuck down. I'm the fucking expert on this shit compared to you. Shut the fuck up. That's not me being mad. That's me just going, I'm sick of putting on with morons like this. Tech Protect, you say what?
How's it going?
It's good. You're on the show. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. So what do you, am I angry today? I don't feel angry. I feel energized. I feel ready to go. What's happening?
No, I think you're right on the money for passion for the stuff we're talking about. Are we still doing the stuff about the Thursday next week?
Well, I mentioned to people about the woke stuff. Yeah, your audio's low. Let me bring you up. Hang on. I mentioned to people that we're looking at doing. Say something again, Tech. Let's make sure your audio works.
Hello, Tech Protect here.
Is that any better, you guys? Is that any better? I mentioned that we're going to be doing that on Thursday of next week, probably, about did wokeness hurt games. We talked about that a little bit. It's better. Okay, yeah, just try to pull up your mic a little bit if you can. And let me see if I can do something. Rob says it's still low. But I don't know. I mean, I got to really think about this because I'm not looking to be one of those guys that's super controversial and angry all the time. It's just like, what do you do when you have experience? Like if somebody comes into you and you know a lot, for example, about tech and you know a lot about analytics and things like that. And it's like somebody just comes in and starts acting like not the fact that their opinion doesn't count, but that their opinion is as steeped in education and experience as yours is. And not only that, but then they start being rude about how little you know. I think it's an internet thing, right? Or no?
Possibly. I think it's kind of like the status quo, especially in the comment sections on YouTube. To just kind of be a dickhead, you know, to think like, well, I've spent 300 hours in one video game, so I know how all video games work. Right.
Well, do you think we should, as the show goes, do you think we should engage with them or not? Oh God, Avoid the Void is back. You say one more fucking thing, Avoid, you're out. I'm serious, man. I don't mind that you're here. I like you. I like you've been part of our community, but don't fucking come at me with rude shit. Maybe as I get older, that Tech Protect is just what I'm tired of. It's like you can come at me, and if you're not smart enough to articulate your point that you think I'm wrong, then you probably don't have a home here. I mean, that's a fair thing, right?
Sure, but you don't think it's like a little fun? Like,
I think it's fun as long as the audience thinks it's fun. But what I take issue with is I don't know how to judge if the audience says, we enjoy this part of the show, or, oh my God, Jaffe, stop feeding the trolls and get on with it, right? How do you know?
I don't see too much, pushback from the comment section. It feels like everyone's like laughing whenever you're like shitting on someone for being stupid, you know, like there's so many people going on like, hey, this guy's too annoying, or like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, Jaffe, get him out of here.
Okay, all right. Well, do me a favor. I don't see all the chat, so if you see something like that, you let me know, and we'll get him out of here.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tech Protect. I appreciate it. All right, there he goes. If you want to call in like Tech Protect just did, this is not a problem. The link's at the top of the YouTube right there. And yeah, Avoid, you want to call in? Fucking call in, bitch. Let's have a conversation. Because I don't like the way you express your concepts. Okay. All right, let's move on though. I want to show you something. Hang on though. No, I'm always honest with you, because let me think for a minute. I am kind of annoyed all of a sudden. Hang on. Why am I annoyed? Let's settle. This is what you got to do. This is what grown-ups do. You get annoyed and you go, all right, what's bothering me? I think it is. I think it's just I'm tired of assholes. There's just a lot of assholes in the chat. And I probably invite that because I engage with them. And there are days, it's my problem, because I engage with them and sometimes it's fun. And other times, I'm not in the mood. But they don't know. They don't know what mood I'm in. Zandatsu says, tired of the constant contrarian takes. You're saying me? Yeah. It's like you just can't have a conversation with these people. It's exhausting. And I get it. They're trolling. They are getting fun out of it. And they are feeling attention is being paid to them. What do you mean the stream link isn't working? Hang on. Let me put you a new one up there. Generate a new link. That's unfortunate. That should be the same one. Try that one, man. Try that stream link. They are having fun and they are getting enjoyment out of it. But it comes at the cost of the audience, I think. And so I think I don't ever want to be one of these streams that doesn't look at the chat, because I think the chat is important. But at the same time, there's got to be a better way to do it. There's got to be a better way to do it. I don't know what it is, but it's sometimes it gets on my nerves. That's truth. That's truth. Am I excited for the Switch 2 reveal? Well, by the way, I was going to get to this. Tomorrow, we will be having Victor Lucas on 5 o'clock, and we will be talking about Indiana Jones, The Great Circle tomorrow, and we will also be talking about the Switch 2 reveal, assuming it happens tomorrow. And that will be on this very channel at 5 o'clock. But am I excited about it? Yeah. I'm curious about it, right? I'm curious about it. I don't know if I am excited about it because I need to see what some of the games are first. I'm a Nintendo fan, but lately I haven't been feeling their magic. What is happening with this stream right now? Oh my god. Wouldn't Nintendo have already announced it, or do they sometimes shadow drop direct? No, they do. They shadow drop them. Not shadow drop them. Everybody knows it's coming, but the understanding is it's coming tomorrow. You can't get the link to work. Okay. I did see the Dawn Walker trailer. I thought it looked great. I thought it looked really, really good. I mean, as a cinematic trailer and as a conceptual trailer, but I didn't feel it was. I don't know what the gameplay is yet, but I'm excited. I think it's conceptually really strong. Okay, I'm going to put one more link. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm so fucking tired of OBS not working when it comes to getting people on. Okay, try that one. What do you mean, no, dog? I'm being honest, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's move. Now I'm in a bad mood. Bill says, I help run a football soccer podcast for my local team. I'm laughing because soccer. These kind of people troll everything, but I've had the pleasure of bumping into some in person. The cowards don't do. I'm not worried about them in real life, but I hear you. I'm just, I did take my ADD pill this morning. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the show. I'm so cranky all of a sudden. Let me put some on that'll make me happy. I'm going to put some on that's going to make me happy. Check it out. These are the voice actors and actresses for Marvel Rivals. Why? Why is soccer? You know what? No, I'm not answering it. I need to hire somebody I don't want you to show me the good stuff. Just get rid of the annoying stuff. I'm so not in the mood. But this is what they want, man. This is what they want. I get it. But you fucking try it. You fucking try looking at the chat constantly and trying to pick out gems and having to put up with fucking trolls like Addy Pie constantly. or Avoid the Void, or these guys that are just constantly being contrarian fucks. And again, I'm not bitching. I have a great job. I'm just saying there are days where I maybe I didn't get enough sleep, where I just don't have the grace to deal with them in a way or ignore them. And so I know it's boring. I know it's boring content. I know you tune in to hear about games. I make the stream to talk about games. But there are times where I'm just like, my God, shut the fuck up. You contrarian fucks. It's true. It's true. There's always tomorrow or the afternoon show. I'll be back with I'm going to go exercise between now and the afternoon show. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to bring Bukkake back to his hardcore Christian phase. That's right. Okay. All right. Addy Pie, you're out. Rob, put Addy Pie in a 10-minute ban. I can't handle it. I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. What's happening with Jaffe? What's happening with him? He's not in the mood. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to. Well, you do have to be nice. You don't have to agree with me. But I'm tired of the trolling. It hurts the quality of the show, and I don't have the discipline or the skill to not consistently be engaged by it. So here's the deal. Moving forward, if you are being contrarian and you articulate it in an interesting way, I love it. You guys know I fucking love it. But if you're just in here to poke, it's not that I don't enjoy a poke every now and then. It's not that. It's that I can't do it. I don't have the skill set to do it. And so it's my weakness. It's my failings. But I'm not going to put up with it anymore because I think it hurts the show, man. It's not good for people who are like, dude, Jaffe, can we talk about video games, man? I get it. And I'm sorry. I can't, Okay. These are the voice actors. I think this girl sounds really cute.
Kick butts. Hey, make fun of my tail all you want, but I've still beaten Doom, Thanos, and Galactus.
一夫当关，万夫莫开. The Dooms are begging for an iron fist to the...
Do you think if they would have hired a white guy to play this character, they should have just done it to piss people off? That's all I'm saying.
Iron faces.
We are Cloak and Dagger. We are hope and fear.
Okay, but why is it okay to hire an Asian lady to be the white girl, but I guarantee you if they would have hired a white guy to be the black guy, people would have lost their fucking shit. I don't care. I'm just saying, it should kind of... I mean, again, there's a lot of casting... unfairness that has happened to Asian folks and black folks. So there's a lot of ground to make up. So certainly it's not like I'm offended, but it is a little like, really? But still, I get it. That's fair. Double standard racism. You can't really be racist if you're white, but it's a different conversation. But that's the semantics issue. That's not an issue of, I understand what you're talking about. Bill, thank you for joining the Diet Soda Soldiers, fellows. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Thanks, bud. Thank you for being part of our community. Okay, let's move forward.
It's always been me.
Shut up, Bukkake.
I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon, I shine in darkness. 4-Lit was my life. But wouldn't it be fabulous to have an all-superhero band?
Camouflage is stupid.
Why is Bukkake in them? They paid you for this? That's pretty good.
I want the enemy to see me and be afraid. I tear through the cloudless night, just like the moon.
Hello, Morgan. Oh, really? Really? You couldn't hire a fat guy to play a fat shark? I understand. On behalf of fat people everywhere, fuck you, Marvel Rivals.
Got a problem, bub? Talk.
Damn. Steve Blum. He's done stuff before, right? Steve Blum has been in stuff before. Hey, maybe it is working. Matt, it's Jaffe. You there? Hang on. We'll come back to this in a minute. Matt, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on, Matt?
Not a lot. I got a quick question for you and the audience.
Yes.
Just starting Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Don't know a whole lot about D&D. I know some, but I'm kind of with you. I'm like a
Whoa. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. I'm kind of old school like you. I want everything I need to know about the game to be in the game itself.
Yeah.
So do I need to look some stuff up? Do I need to...
Well, I mean, what I think is really cool about Baldur's Gate 3 is that it really does seem to be, it is very much tied to the D&D rule set. And, you're not going to go wrong if you read. Certainly the 5th edition rules were written after. I don't think it adheres to 5th edition, but Hectorhowl could tell you. He's quiet as well. Can you turn up your mic? Any chance, Matt?
I can get closer to it.
Okay, that's better. But there are, I think Baldur's Gate is excellent. I love it, but I definitely think Baldur's Gate is one of those games that there are things that you probably need to go online if you're confused about. Like, I know people like to give me shit because I think the map's confusing, but I do think the map is confusing. I think when it says, it's been a while since I've played it, but I try to remember, like, if you look at the map and it tells you there's like 3 places you're next if you want to go for this mission, but then you get to that room and it's not actually in that room, and people are like, oh, well, what it means is it wants you to go in this area, and then maybe there's something in the area that will allow you to move to the next part of the mission. But in a lot of games, what they do when it's that is you get to the area, then there's like a circle around a big part of the map, and it's like it's somewhere in the circle. But it doesn't do that in Baldur's Gate, and so I think the map's pretty confusing. But that was the main thing that I needed to look up. Although Jay Styles in the chat says I had to watch an hour-long tutorial before I played it. So, I mean, you're not going to go wrong if you look up some shit, but I don't think it's the kind of game that you need too much help from outside. Are you enjoying it so far?
I literally just created my character and watched the first cutscene, and I saw you were on, and I was like, oh, I'll stop in and see what Jaffe's doing.
Oh, okay. I mean, I got into real life D&D, and I'm supposed to roll a character with Hectorhowl this week on the stream. Actually, I got to set that up. But I got into real life D&D after Baldur's Gate, and now I want to go back and play it again because now that I've read the rule book and I understand the systems more, I think I would actually probably really vibe with it even more. Bitrate says in the chat it would help to read 5th edition rules and maybe watch a D&D stream or two. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a connection there between real D&D, obviously, and Baldur's, and you're not going to go wrong if you go to like D&D Beyond and you look up stuff, like even caltrips or caltraps or whatever. I didn't even know what the fuck that was. I didn't even realize that was a basic term for D&D players, which is like just a spell that is always ready to fire for the most part. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't know what that was, right? So there is a lot of lingo and verbiage that they assume you know, but you'll figure it out. It's a great game, though. I hope you can trip is what it is. Yeah. I hope you dig it because it's good stuff, man.
Cool.
All right, Matt.
One more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. When it comes to the show, man, I mean, I'm here because I trust in what you do. I think you do a great show.
Thank you, bud.
And I think you should just go with what you think is best, and you and Tech thinks, best in terms of what you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, I do usually. It's just to be honest, and again, what I like about doing the show is that I know he's real quiet. I don't know why. I have his mic turned all the way up. Actually, maybe, hang on, say something real quick.
It's because I'm on the phone. I had to wait too far from my mouth, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to figure that out. But yeah, I'm always honest on the show and shit. And there are days I like, and it's not really the fault of the audience. There are days I like playing around with the trolls, and there are days that I don't. Like today, I'm just not in the mood. And it's really not their job to know what day is what. But I struggle knowing how to communicate that without just starting to ban people like I've done today. But I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm here because I know that you're going to be honest. I mean, even if I don't disagree with you, or I don't agree with you, you're going to be you're gonna give me your take, and you're gonna be completely honest about it. So
Absolutely.
that's why I'm here.
I do the best I can.
Keep
Thanks,
doing
Matt.
that, man.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you being part of our community. Thank you, bud.
You have a good day, man.
All right, you too. Matt's a good egg, fellas. I dig him. He's a good individual. Not banning people, just, anyway. Okay. Yeah, Bitrate says it took 125 hours to beat Baldur's Gate 3. Right. I mean, I'm a fan. I liked it. I want to go back. I absolutely want to go back. Nobody got banned. We just kind of put Addy Pie and we put Avoid the Void. I'm just, Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. So this is us. What has Steve Blum done? Can somebody look up Steve Blum? I think he's a pretty big voice actor. Oh, here we go. We got some people in the call-in waiting room. And in fact, there's Avoid the Void there. I'll bring you guys on in just a little bit. But let's go through this video first. Here we go. Oh, Cowboy Bebop. Okay, and Naruto. Gotcha. Thank you, NC.
Anyone stands in my way, they won't be standing much longer.
Wind, cloud, and storm. Hear my command. Mutant or human, I fight for everyone.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
I just want to say this guy doesn't look Jewish. What's that mean, look Jewish? It's a religion, not a race. I know, but Magneto was in the Holocaust. You need to get a Jewy guy. Get a Kevin Pollak in there, or get Paul Reiser, or get come on, you can't let Magneto be played by a Catholic fella. What? I'm just saying.
I will never allow
Larry
to suffer the same.
Can you imagine if they got Larry David? Lux says get Larry David to play Magneto. Oh my God. Yeah, excellent. What a great casting choice. Been fantastic. Oh, is it really fictional? Raul says it's fictional, Jaffe. I know. I'm not really upset. I'm just saying it's kind of... I know it's fictional, sir.
You don't have to be a witch to find a mag
I love Kate Higgins with all my heart.
in this world. But it does help. I've made my share of mistakes. But I am fighting every day to make amends. I have mutant powers.
Thank you, Rob.
And a little demonic magic, too. This soul sword can destroy just about anything.
My odachi is sharp. My mind is sharper. I've fought Oni, slayed demons. This should be easy.
Those who oppose me shall be left to drown in my wake. Let us hope this polluted future is washed from the timeline.
I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Only my neighborhood is now like multiple realities. Cool.
Look at that jacket, man. That's pretty cool, but
All right, so if the timelines are all entangled, how many MJs are there? This could get complicated.
Or interesting.
You are insignificant. Doom is nothing. Now is the true threat to this universe and all others.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
I don't really understand this. Explain this character to me briefly. So, is this Peter Parker's daughter? Because I know there is like a Mayday in the one of the MCUs where he has a daughter who's Spider Girl, I think they call her. But is this a Eurasian lady? So Peter Parker in one of the universes married and had a baby with an Asian lady? Is what happened? I don't know the history of this character of Penny Parker. I know she's an alternate universe, but is Spider-Man her dad, basically? When she says, my father, I'll finish what he started. Is that who we're talking about?
Life and destiny is fragile. Someone has to protect it.
You can't be brave without being afraid first. If we don't stand up for what's right, who will?
Is that true? Tech Protect? That sounds awesome. Peter's daughter from a universe where Japan integrates with the U.S. MJ is Japanese? Did you just write that, or that's a real thing? That's cool. That's fucking a neat idea.
Wakanda has always reached for the stars. Now we have claimed them. My claws may be sharp, but my mind is far sharper.
When I play this game, I will not shoot at Black Panther because I want to protest police violence against African Americans. It's true. I just avoid them. I just avoid the players who play this character. It's true.
Underneath my caustic exterior, I'm still pretty caustic. If I'm not joking about something, you know I'm not taking it seriously.
I'm warming up to the field missions. They're breaks from the labs. Doom is brilliant, so am I. We can outthink him.
Listen, Hulk admit he's still working on his anger management.
Now that guy is alpha. That guy is alpha. Look at that. He's like, I don't give a fuck. That's a man right there, baby. You can say what you want, but that's a man that knows how to please a woman, because what else does he got? He's got to learn technique versus like a guy like this or a guy like this guy, good-looking guy. Their whole lives, they get women at their feet. This guy, had to figure it out. He had to fucking figure out where that G-spot. I'm just saying. It's not untrue.
Banner is tactical support. Hulk is all heavy duty.
Open your eyes. Reality is but an illusion. All those crises I quietly put out, you have no idea.
I was terrorized, broken, and remade in the Red Room. Now I command it.
I just want to talk briefly about this game. No, I don't. Let's keep going. I want to tell you something. Then I want to bring the calls in. Then I want to tell you something. Yeah, I am going to do a playthrough of the Twisted Metal remake. That is the plan, and we're also going to try to get the creator on the show for a conversation. Yeah.
I'm more than 100 years old.
Bukaki says, when I can't hit the Black Panther, it's me subconsciously making the decision not to. It's stunning and brave. That's right.
I would have imagined that back in the day.
I am the god of thunder and the mightiest avenger, Mjolnir. Let heaven and hell hear thy soar.
Once an avenger, always an avenger. When you're surrounded by gods and cosmic wizards, you gotta keep your head.
I'm not anyone's sidekick. What I do is best done alone. Weapons keep getting better, but it's still the person behind them that matters most.
I'm not a hero. I'm the Punisher. Weapons are tools, and I'm the master craftsman.
My realm is the great river, into which all others flow. My powers, practically infinite. Slightly less so on Midgard, Earth.
I am Loki, god of mischief,
Oh,
and the king
wait,
of
that's not Troy Baker. Wait, what? That is Troy Baker's voice, but that's Nolan North. Okay, I understand.
Asgard. Why would anyone want order when they could enjoy chaos?
This looks like a gig for the Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy.
that's Nolan North. That's Troy Baker. That's no. Okay, I understand. Okay.
We guard the galaxy, sure. But sometimes we take stuff other people are guarding.
Someone's got to guard the galaxy. Might as well be me.
That's QB. That's the dude from Friday Night Lights who played the quarterback who was paralyzed. I love that movie, that show. And I loved his girlfriend in that. What was her name? Lila Garrity. Lila Garrity, played by, what is that actress's name? She's gorgeous. What the fuck? Minka Kelly, Brad. Oh my God, Minka fucking Kelly. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? One of the best shows ever, by the way. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Space, I can protect, but add time to the mix and things get tricky.
Life energy is a powerful weapon against...
If I ever got that guy on the show, if I ever got Scott Porter on the show for an interview, it would be awful. I'd just be like, what was it like kissing Minka Kelly? That would be the whole interview.
But add time to the mix and things get tricky.
Life energy is a powerful weapon against evil.
That looks like the picture of your social studies teacher in the yearbook. Like all these other people have headshots and they're all like actors, and this is like, oh, this is Mrs. Mrs. Harrison. She teaches social study and home ec. You
feel empathy for an enemy and still destroy them.
It's not a bad thing.
Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
I will bring peace to this universe, no matter the cost. I was born to change humanity for the better. That time has come.
Welcome to the training ground. I'm Galacta, and I'm gonna guide you through the functions of each area.
Okay, here's the deal, Spider Friends. I need to get to the floating islands to fix the web of life and destiny.
You must not proceed any further, Spider Zero. I will not warn you again.
I struggle even for gods.
All right, these are not playables. These are just, whatever. Okay. I want to say something. I'm going to bring on these calls real quick, but I want to say something first about the game. I don't care if you play Marvel Rivals. I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm not trying to do a whole show about Marvel Rivals. I get it. It's not for everybody, and I'm not even very good at it. But I do like it. But I want to just show you something. And I'm sure there are other games that have done it better than this game, but I got to show you this. This is let me launch it real fast. I'm not going to play a match or anything like that. It's going to be a real quick thing. I just want to show you this. And maybe you can point to other games that do it better, but I'm telling you something. I am super impressed by what I'm about to show you. So wait, Addie Pie says Penny Parker is an alternate version of Peter. Then why does she talk about her dad? We got to finish what my dad started. I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. Either way, yeah, I'm wondering who she was referring to. Blackjack says Overwatch clones are annoying if you didn't care about Overwatch to start. I didn't care about Overwatch to start. It wasn't my cup of tea, but the Marvel license has gotten me into the brand or into the genre, and now I'm enjoying it. But I still like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 more. I know Wayne is saying that this game pulled him away from it, but Overwatch is a clone of Team Fortress. Yeah. Dark Cloud, a lot of them have a short shelf life. He says he doesn't support service games, but some of them go forever. I mean, it's not forever, but okay, I just want to show you this real quick. I'm just so impressed by the costumes in this game and again, let me know, like you might go, Jaffe, yeah, these are good, but they're better in this other game. But just the costumes in this game, I don't know if I'm going to pay. I pay for the battle pass, but the costumes are so good in this game that it's hard not to just start coughing up money. Look at Wolverine. Now, you would want this to be the main Wolverine costume. Sadly, it's not. This is, you got to buy this one. But look at that fucking Wolverine costume, man. It's fucking amazing. And then you get some of the more, like if you go to the Battle Pass even has really good outfits. Although this isn't the Battle Pass. This is, look at Thor from Love and Thunder. Yeah, Brad, I agree. Standard Wolverine is not great in this game. Look at this. I mean, that's just such a good looking costume. Right? They just do this is where their money comes. Yeah, I'm not raving. Like I said, I enjoy the gameplay of Call of Duty more, but I love the brand of this so much. Look at this Punisher. I had this Punisher in the beta. I thought I would have gotten to keep it, but look at this. I mean, that's 20. I'm so close to just pulling the trigger because I love playing this character, and I think that's just the neatest fucking costume. But yeah, and then you can go to I'll go to the Battle Pass, but hang on a second. Let's see who else is really cool that they have here. Oh yeah, look at the Battle Pass for a second. Look at Moon Knight. Moon Knight I'm about to unlock. I don't even play Moonlight, but my God, look at that. It's so cool, man. And then yeah, if you go to Rocket as the Western guy or the Cyberpunk Rocket, I mean, come on, right? I mean, what other game does costumes as good as this? And I'm not saying there's not one. I'm asking, like, what game is out there? Look, this is Magneto's okay, but there's like a dark Doctor Strange in here and a dark Iron Man. Look at this. That's fucking Iron Man. Look at that fucking thing. You think Overwatch does better skins? Interesting. No, I'm going on Moriarty's show later today, Warped Eye. This is a Doctor Strange variant. Look at this guy. I mean, it's gorgeous. And then if you finish the Battle Pass, which I hope to, you get Vampire Wolverine or Vampire Slayer Wolverine. Look at this guy. I mean, that guy's cool, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's really cool. It's really cool. All right. Okay, I'm going to bring in some calls real quick. I just wanted to show. Yeah, that one's cool. They're awesome. It looks soulless and corporate. Okay. I mean, okay. It looks like Marvel to me, man. I don't know what to tell you. But maybe that's soulless and corporate to you, which is totally fine. I respect that. But I dig it. Okay, let me bring in my nemesis from today. This is Avoid the Void. All right, let's bring him down to the room here. Well, it's Avoid the Void. What's up, champion?
Hello, Jaffe. You interrupted me. I was speaking with Blazukas and Anthony.
Okay, well, you're in the call-in waiting room, so I assume you want to be on the show. That's what the call-in waiting room's for.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. Why did you think I'm a troll?
Because you're being an asshole. When you call in or when you write into the show and you in the comments and you say to me, I don't know anything about multiplayer gaming. I don't know anything about matchmaking. And you expect me to go, oh, okay. Like, how do you expect me to respond to that comment?
I said you were cut off from the multiplayer scene, which is true, and you have admitted that.
Stop.
Many times in the past, right?
Stop. First off, let's see. Can you guys hear him? You guys in the chat are saying you cannot hear Avoid the Void. Can you hear him now? Avoid the Void, do a sound check. Say something.
1 2 1 2.
All right. Are you guys able to? Yeah. Can you guys hear him? He needs to turn up his mic a little. This is really weird. Why is it that I can hear him great, and you guys are saying he's really quiet? Hang on a second. Let me go to this.
Yeah, I think my voice levels are fine.
Of course you do. You're that kind of guy. You think everything you do is right, and everybody else doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. I know your type.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, he sounds good. Okay. So, all right. So let's start with the assumption that I'm cut off from the multiplayer scene. Now, do I go compete at MLG tournaments? No. But do I play hundreds of hours of Hearthstone, Marvel Snap, and Call of Duty? Yes. Do I also play lately a lot of Rivals? Yes. So explain to me how you define me being cut off from the multiplayer scene.
Well, you're complaining about all these systems, right? But what I had issue with was that you're turning this into your classical example of, oh, this is terrible onboarding and this is on the devs and this is so toxic that now gamers are already resorting to online guides and
that's not okay. Well, wait a moment. First off, I never said it was toxic. Second off, I said
not toxic. Yeah.
Second off, what I said was that for me as a designer, I feel the game's job, be it in the game or back in the day in the manual, is to explain how to play the game to enough that is fun. And what I said that was a revelation to me is that because a lot of younger generation has come up with the internet and Reddit and things, that to them, it isn't a crutch that game designers lean on. It is actually expected that if you want to learn how to play Punisher in Marvel Rivals, you will go watch a video, or you will go to Reddit, or you will go to the Marvel Rivals Discord, and you will talk to people about it. And because
or you can play 100 games and learn the character, but that's the issue. People want to get there fast.
Wait a minute. That's three things, right? So let's take the first two, and then we'll get to your example, because your example is important, but it's a very different category. So if you're talking about, would you agree that the internet experience has replaced the necessity, even though I think it's still an important part of the game making design process? Do you agree that the internet has replaced the necessity for games to have manuals or even in-game tutorials to an extent?
Yes, to an extent, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that is what I was first off talking about, which is I get it now that it's, even though I think it's Marvel Rivals' job to explain this stuff, I get that they, understandably, the majority of their audience doesn't look at it as a problem to go onto the internet to learn how to play Punisher or Magneto or whatever. Okay. Your example, though, is what I disagree with, which is if you're basically saying the customer should have a brain coming into a new game that you have to play 100 rounds as the Punisher before you understand it enough for it to be fun, then yes, that is terrible onboarding.
But, they have like 40 characters, right? Most online games, I'm not going to even go to the MOBA section where there are hundreds of heroes.
Yeah, but just take Rivals. Just take Rivals.
Yeah, they cannot provide a 10-minute tutorial for every character and how it works, and then escalate that to explain to you how the game is played, what are objectives, and how you should play in every situation.
They can't? They can't? Sure they can. In fact, there is a tutorial for every character in Marvel Rivals. It's not very deep. It just tells you how to activate the moves, but why are you forgiving that's like saying, I love going to Disneyland, but can I really expect them to worry about the seat belts? It should be up to the player to the customer to get in Space Mountain and just hold on really tight. That's the job. That's the job of making a game, is to take care of their customer. If you expect someone has to play 100 matches of a character before the game actually becomes viable, that's a problem with the game. Why are you allowing...
We're not talking about viability. We're talking about people go to online guides to see what the optimal play is in every situation, and that's why they watch popular streamers, right? Popular pro players. That's why
I'm talking about your comment,
not because they're entertaining.
I understand, but I'm talking about your comment that is, you have to play 100 matches before you understand how to play the character.
I'm talking about you can explore these things at your own pace, and take this into account, man. Most people that play these games that come from Overwatch or other similar games do already know most of these things that on the surface level you have no idea about.
Right, and thus it's bad. They're very onboarding. It's bad onboarding. Unless the game, do you really think NetEase and Marvel Studios put Marvel Rivals out in order to basically be a super hardcore game that they knew that 80% of people that were not already hardcore into Overwatch 2 would wash out?
Certain characters like Punisher are like there are different skill levels to each character.
Right.
Some characters are gonna feel shit playing because they have a high skill ceiling and they have secret things, other like hidden game mechanics, interactions with the map, for example.
Yeah.
They are not intuitive characters. That's why you need guidance to do. There are easier characters like supports that basically do healing or very simple jobs.
I understand all of these things that you're saying. What I'm asking you though is, if you were an executive in charge of Marvel Rivals, so let me maybe we'll have a different view here, but like Eternal in the chat says the basics of the game are easy to pick up and play. That's not my point. My point is not Eternal or Avoid that you don't understand how to walk the Punisher around and shoot. It's that the satisfaction, the fact that a lot of people jump into Marvel Rivals like Warp Die, and they take a couple of steps and they die, and then they have to slowly grind their way back to get to the battle, and they die again. That is a bad experience that pushes people away from the game. And so I do think that would qualify as bad onboarding. And I think if I was designing a game like this, and again, I've failed twice at games like this, it's hard to do it. But, there's a lot of systems that, like, how the fuck would I know about the grapples or the zip lines with the Punisher unless I had gone to the internet, right? Wayne says it makes you not want to die. Of course it makes you not want to die. But when you're playing against people that are really good, just not wanting to die isn't enough.
Sure, that example you gave earlier in the stream
Yeah.
has more to do with um, the fact that there is a drop off in players' interest if they die constantly. But that is an issue more than with you can the example you gave was that, oh, one game I did very well and another game I did shitty,
Mhm.
and that has a lot to do with skill-based matchmaking. And we can argue to what extent skill-based matchmaking is bad because it has that constant rambling between playing versus very good players and playing versus
Yeah.
very bad players.
Yeah.
And the point that there's also the fact that you can get a bad team in a game and have a shitty experience,
Mhm.
and then the other game you can have a really good team and get a really good experience. So I don't think it's fair to like um centralize that and focus it on the game having a terrible onboarding. Like, for
I
example, you're
didn't
talking
say it
about
has.
Elden Ring
I
and
didn't.
scaling in Elden Ring. Like,
Yeah.
who that has played an RPG like after the 2000s that doesn't know how weapon scaling works, that has been in Japanese games since your age, right? And
The fact that you make excuses for the developers is so bizarre.
I don't play the game even.
Right, but any of these games, the fact that you are making the assumption that because if you've played Overwatch, you know how this works. If you've done
Yeah.
skill-based matchmaking, you know how this works. If you've done this kind of game, you know how this works. That is not acceptable. You should not have to have taken a prerequisite class of games before you're allowed to enjoy
I think
this
you are
game.
overcomplicating Marvel Rivals, to be honest.
I'm not.
You're making it seem much more difficult than it is. Meanwhile,
It's
very
because
much more accessible than
it's
Overwatch.
because you're missing the point. I like Marvel Rivals. I'm not saying the game is too complicated to play. I'm not saying that the game has not found success. So clearly, the way they've tuned it is not such a turnoff that it's a problem. But that doesn't negate the fact that there are still a lot of bad experiences with the game that come from the game not going out of its way to explain some things that they could have explained better to the player if they didn't want to go out and look for it online. And I don't think that's the responsibility of the player. When you've got people like Warp Die or me that walk a little bit and die, and then they uninstall the game after one match, that is a problem. And that is something that ideally should get solved. And people in the chat that are making this assumption that I want you to be able to master all the characters instantly. It's not about being great at the game. It's about making sure that the player's experience is good enough when they suck at the game that they want to stick around and get better. Not because it's popular, not because it's what their friends are playing, but because the game itself is genuinely fun.
And your point, in all of this was that they didn't explain grappling hooks. We're not even talking about bigger things like skill-based matchmaking that has been used for years, and it has people dropping out of Call of Duty, except the hacking. People dropping out of Call of Duty and popular games. And we're talking about, this game didn't explain me one micro mechanic of it. And your excuse to all of that is that, I designed games, I know better.
All right, 1 sec. I'll be right back. We'll continue this discussion. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so let me be clear on this. The grapple hook was not the big problem. The grapple hook was a specific example to point out the bigger problem, that there are things I think the game should have trained the player on. However, the skill-based matchmaking I didn't even bring up, okay? But skill-based matchmaking is crucial for games like this. I get that hardcore players don't like it, but that's why games like Call of Duty have the ranked modes, right? Because if you get rid of skill-based matchmaking, you're going to have a dead game. Look at X Defiant. It didn't have skill-based matchmaking. It proudly was out there saying, we're not doing skill. Great. Sucks to be you guys, out of business now.
Yeah, sure. And Call of Duty does a lot of different things in the ranked mode. Certain perks, kill streaks are not allowed, that are more oriented towards the casual player base. But what I have a problem with, Jaffe, is that you do this every time. You're trying to bring up a point, and you use your I designed games in the past, so I know, and you don't know.
You don't know.
Not me. My opinion is that any professional player, for example, can design a multiplayer game better than you do. Absolutely. They know the ins and outs on everything in the game.
You don't understand how game design works, so I'll forgive your ignorance on that statement, but let's just say I don't agree with you. But here's what I would tell you. Do I think that if you are going to design a multiplayer shooter, should you consult with people who are top-notch in that field, in that world? Fuck yes. 1,000%. 1,000%. But do I want a professional player being the main designer on a fucking shooter that just because they're ninja when Fortnite was in its heyday?
A lot of pro players are being consultants for.
I didn't say consultants is a problem. Consultants is fine, but so what? If you get a consultant, or if you get a MLG player ruling the roost when it comes to design decisions on a shooter, you're going to end up with a game that basically is very specific for his hardcore fans, and no one shows up for it, right? So you don't want that. But as a consultant, I would agree, 1,000%, 100%, 1,000%.
Counter-Strike doesn't have that issue. And the example I told you earlier was that people were doing, like, if you remember TeamSpeak or Ventrilo back in the day, these were like voice chat channels that competitive players were communicating, and what's your
point though, as it relates to what we're talking about?
My point with that is that this online min-maxing and kids today run to forums to get an edge and min-max their online experience. This is nothing new.
It's absolutely new from a standpoint of before the internet. When I was a kid playing games and a teenager, we had manuals. And if it wasn't in the game and it wasn't in the manual...
But manuals are, for single-player games, they're a completely different point. Why do you even bring them up? What do you mean, why do I bring them up? I bring them up because it's the place you go to get the data in order to learn how to play the game well, whether or not you're getting it off YouTube or you're getting it off a wiki or you're getting it off a manual or a strategy guide, you still have to get the data somewhere. Weren't manuals for Counter-Strike, which was a multiplayer game?
Counter-Strike, when it launched, if I'm correct, never came in a box. It eventually came in a box. I don't think it launched in a box. There was no manual.
No, it had a box.
Eventually. Absolutely. I don't think it launched with a box, though. Regardless, though,
anyway,
manuals have been replaced by tutorials. Yes, I know. I'm not saying games need manuals today. I'm saying that today games are less inclined to teach you how to play in the game, in a tutorial, in a manual, whatever, because the developers can lean on the community or the website to teach you how to do it. I agree with that. I mean, I don't agree. I don't like it, but I understand that that's where they get their...
to the fastest thing they can accomplish their goals with. This is absolutely to be expected. It's not that they don't know how the grappling works in Marvel Rivals. It's that they want to get the best loadout, climb the ranks as fast as possible. That is the nature of competitivism. And I don't like it.
It is that they don't know how the grapple works. That is a problem with the game. If you're talking about onboarding, when you've got players that die in a game like this and they uninstall because it takes so long to get back to the battle, and they have no idea that the character that you're
basing that on your own
and on warp die
experience.
Yes,
Who's warp die? I mean, Marvel Rivals is the hottest shit right now,
dude.
I'm gonna. People are not dropping out. They hit a new all-time high after they release.
And so that means what? That means that because that
people are not dropping out as fast as other games you mentioned before, like the Ubisoft, or even Call of Duty.
So what? Okay, right. So what you're saying is that if something is successful, it absolutely is not able to be criticized in the parts that you feel it fails at?
I'm saying the statistics tells us that people are not having the issue.
You don't have the knowledge.
Evidence is not objective.
No, you do. You absolutely do not have the knowledge to make that statement. I am open-minded enough to say that. So Marvel Rivals, if you factor in the fact that it's free, that it is very popular, and that everybody is playing it, so it is now the social game to play, that buttresses up and that protects a lot of people from dropping out because they're playing with their friends and things like that. But in a vacuum, I would argue that at a game design level, that's one of the places where it's weak. Do I think it's so weak that it doesn't deserve to succeed? Of course not. I'm playing it. But I absolutely think that if you're just saying, well, it's successful, so you're wrong, I would disagree. Thank you for the call, Avoid the Void. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, sorry for wasting the time on such a small topic, man. I really want to talk games. Anyways.
You didn't waste time. I got a lot of good content out of it. Thank you for that, buddy. I appreciate the chat. I don't agree with you, but I appreciate the chat.
I know.
All right. He says he knows. Okay. Anthony, it's Jaffe. What's going on?
He knows. Okay.
Are you there?
Here, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on with you?
I don't know. I've been in call waiting for so long. I was just talking to people, and I don't even know what's going on.
All right, then I'll put you back in call waiting. There you go, buddy. If you want to be on the show, put yourself in the call waiting room. If I pull you in at any time, it means you need to be ready. There's lots of places on the channel you can go to talk to people that aren't the call-in waiting room. I love you, Anthony, with all my heart and soul, but you figure out what you want to know and talk about, and I'll bring you in. Plazookas is Jaffe. What's going on, buddy?
What's up? I can't be on cam today? That's fine.
You can, but you're not on cam. If you want to be on...
I was. It pulled me out, though. I don't know. Maybe...
All right. Well, we got you on voice. What's going on, bud?
Hey, you're still talking about Marvel Rivals?
Talk about whatever you want.
Well, I was just talking. I want to talk about the multiplayer aspect of it, like the fact that there isn't any tutorials in games like the Soul series, or games like Rivals. I played Rivals for about 6 hours, and then when the tournament came out, realized how competitive that game is compared to like something like Overwatch, and I was like, not the game for me. And I think the game does. I think the game does very well in disguising it as a casual game, but in reality, it's really hardcore.
It can be, yeah. And again, and that's fine. It's not that I'm opposed. Oh, there you are. I see you up on the screen over there. Hang on. I don't know if I can drag
it's fine
you.
If you can't.
I know. You like how you look that much, do you? I understand. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, it can be competitive, but I think the thing that the thing that bothers me is just this idea that, here's the funny thing. As a one-time game developer, you would think that I would be the guy that would be like, could you guys just take it easy on the developers? But gamers seem so quick to allow developers to get away. The fact that Avoid the Void was like, you can't expect them to do a tutorial for every character. Yeah, I can. I absolutely can.
It's definitely unfair.
When they're charging me $20 for a fucking skin, you know what? You can make a fucking tutorial for how the Punisher plays.
Your criticism is valid towards Marvel Rivals, your criticism is valid towards Call of Duty. These are very successful, very capable games that have a budget of $700 million for Call of Duty. They have the ability to do all this stuff. They choose not to out of laziness, out of executive greed, whoever's getting this money. It ain't all going into the systems and mechanics of the game. It's going to the pockets of the highest people, and they're trying to leverage it out through cost and all this other stuff.
For whatever the reason they don't have it. And again, I love Marvel Rivals. I adore Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 and all this stuff. So I'm not a hater on these games. And that's the other thing. It's like, okay, this generation of gamers, it's just like, you can't criticize anything. You either have to fucking splooge all over it like a goddamn Jackson Pollock painting, or it's the worst thing ever. It's like their ability to have a nuanced conversation is absolutely gone to shit.
We've lost that. We've lost that in 2025, which is why I've had this conversation with you over and over again. It's no longer about, constructive criticism. It's about grifting. It's about polarized things, and it's about IP that you absolutely are infatuated with. And if you are, there's no way to criticize it, or there's all the criticism for it. And there is no rational reason as to why one or the other exists anymore. It's just a complete chaotic ecosystem in many cases.
Yeah, I'm with you. But see, listen to this. Yeti Money in the chat says the point is the struggle to learn the game and character in competitive games. What you don't understand, Yeti, is when you build a video game, and I have been successful at this specific aspect I'm about to say to you, and I've been an abject failure at this. You've got to build a shallow end, a medium end, and a deep end of the swimming pool. When you talk about, Yeti, the point being that you struggle to learn the game and character in competitive games, that is when you have arrived at the medium part of the swimming pool. You are engaged enough, you are interested enough, you are bought in enough that you are now willing to put that work in. But if you are coming to a game brand new and you don't have a love of the genre, or you don't have a encyclopedic knowledge of the subgenre, and you're just like, oh, it's Spider-Man, I like Spider-Man, I'm gonna play that, and the game doesn't do a good job of easing you into the mental state of where you're at, where you're in the middle of the pool and you want to be in that headspace, that's the game's responsibility to bring you to that middle of the pool. But you guys act all offended when people like me say, I think some of these games, as much as I love them, like Rivals, do a poor job of bringing you into the mental state of the swimming pool. That's all I'm fucking saying. Stop pushing back, or push back, but articulate it other than going, Jaffe, you're just disconnected. No, push back in a fucking smart way. Plazook, is anything else?
Yeah, with Assassin's Creed Shadows being pushed back a month, do you have any other additional gaming plans for the month of February because it was so packed?
Oh my God.
Pick up a game?
I'm probably going to pick up everything, but in February or January?
Well, February, obviously with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I knew you were going to play that, is going to get pushed out to March. Was there anything in that slot that you weren't going to play because of Shadows that you are going to play?
Let's see what's coming out in February. There's so many indie games that you don't even know are coming out until 2 days before they come out that I'm sure I'm going to end up doing something like that. But let's see what comes out that month. And I still have a backlog, the size of how big Bukkake wishes his dick was. So, but let's see. February games. Okay, well, I'm interested in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The deep dive that the media did on that made me very interested in that. There is Avowed, of course, and Like a Dragon. So, honestly, those things were going to be competing for my time anyway. Oh, and there's another Sniper Elite game coming, Matthew says, right. Sniper Elite, which I love the last one coming, and that's a day one Game Pass game. So, it's kind of never ending. So I don't know. What are you playing in February?
I'm playing all those. I've actually, I can't get into the details, but yeah, I'm excited for all of the games. I'm going to play them all. Most likely, I have the time to do it. So
excellent. All right, Plazukas, good to talk to you, buddy. Talk to you soon, man.
Bye, Jaffe.
All right, I'm going to bring on the last caller, and then I'm going to go head out and prep for my Collins show, and then I'll be back with the proper Gabbing games later today. Anthony, you got something to talk about?
Yeah, I do, and I'm gonna kind of piggyback on what Pluzukas was saying. And Jeffy, all I meant is I had been waiting in chat for a while.
No. I wasn't upset. I'm just saying that I only even mentioned it so people who watch the show go, oh, okay. When they put themselves in the call-in showroom, that means Jaffe knows at any time I can drag you out and put you in here, so know what you want to talk about. But there are plenty of channels where you can just go shoot the shit with people that without any risk of being on the show. So what do you want to talk about?
Okay, so as Pluzukas was saying that Assassin's Creed was delayed another month.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really hear back and forth. I was listening to if you pulled me on. I couldn't really hear what you said about it. But in my opinion, I'm reading everybody's very disappointed about this.
About the delay or about the game?
Both.
I'm excited for the game, but yeah, it sucks it's been delayed, but frankly, given how packed February already is, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and not only that, like, Ubisoft needs to knock one out of the park here. After what happened with Star Wars, they really need to knock one out of the park here. Yeah. And so they can't be releasing a buggy game.
Yeah, and it's hard to know really why the delay happened. There are people that say that the production has been in trouble, and so it may actually be like, shit, we needed, we need another delay. They need to release it. Usually what happens with delays is you can delay up until the end of fiscal year without hitting, kind of the expectations of your promises to stockholders and stuff. And I don't know if end of the fiscal year is March 31st or March 1st, but with the reason God of Wars always used to come out in March was because we pushed it as far as we could, and then Sony said you cannot push past the fiscal year. But I don't remember what actual date that was when it came to the stocks and stuff. So it could be because they need bug fixes, or it could be because they're in communications with other companies about their buyout, or it could be maybe they're looking at the stats for Ubisoft Plus Classic or whatever it's called and going, do we want to kill this before Assassin's Creed comes out? Because I plan on playing that game for $19 for renting it and playing it and being done, just how I played Star Wars.
I wish I could do that on PlayStation, because Ubisoft Plus on PlayStation doesn't come day and date.
No.
It's only older games,
right?
And that really sucks.
It does.
Somebody was telling me just today that for their channel they already recorded and used all the B-roll for their footage into the full Assassin's Creed review, and they're just waiting for the game to go live. They can't publish it yet.
Oh, yeah. It could be that. They could be holding it for other reasons. Absolutely. Or they could be looking at February and going, you know what? February is stacked. And with Kingdom Come, which is a total competitive game with them, Avowed will compete with their audience. Monster Hunter Wilds and Like a Dragon, all of those will take a little bit, and some will take a lot from the Assassin's Creed audience. And they may be like you said, we need a win. And March doesn't look as bad as February, and so fuck it, let's push it. Because in March, you don't really have much of anything. I mean, you got like I don't even know how to say it, the remaster of Suikoden or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's niche. Xenoblade Definitive Edition, Atom Fall. There's really they would be the big dog on the block in March. So maybe they're kind of like, look, let's do everything we can to try to make sure this is a hit, and that means getting it the fuck out of February. Could be.
Yeah, and not only that, but the fact that because I remember back years ago playing the first Assassin's Creed and liking it, and then playing Assassin's Creed 2 and platinuming it and loving Assassin's Creed 2, and then thinking that after that they kind of jumped the shark a little bit. But what I always wanted, and what everybody always wanted, was Assassin's Creed in Japan. That's what everybody wanted, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It looks good. The mechanics look good. I'm more excited for their Salem Witch Trials Assassin's Creed, but that's a while away. And I'm excited for the recently unofficially confirmed Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake or remaster. But I'm excited. I'm into it. Listen to this in the chat. Slideaway says, "What if they're waiting for the Switch 2 to launch and put it out there?" It's a really great point. That being a launch title on the Switch 2 probably is not a bad fucking idea, given that everybody is assuming that the Switch is announced tomorrow and it actually is coming out for sale in March. So that being a day one drop launch title on the Switch is probably a very smart move as well. So it makes a lot of sense. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Anthony, I got to run. Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, man.
No problem, man.
All right. See, no, I don't mean to cut you off. I just got to get ready for this other show.
No, I just want to tell you, their streaming tech on the Switch that they used for Odyssey worked really well.
The streaming tech on the Switch.
Yeah, because they didn't actually.
That's right. I guess it depends on how your Wi-Fi was and stuff. But yeah, I've heard that. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Take it easy, Jaffe.
Yep, indeed. All right, so listen, fellas. Here's what's going on. Thank you for the show. I enjoyed that. It's like a mental workout, like a real aggressive one. I know it started off not rocky, but I wasn't in the best of moods. I enjoyed talking to Void. I enjoyed talking to all you guys, Plazookas and Matt and Anthony. I will be back later today on this channel doing a Gabbing Games around 5:30 or 6. I am now going to do a episode with Colin Moriarty, and tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Victor Lucas will be here to talk Switch 2 if it gets unveiled, and whether it does or not, we will be talking Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, my game of the year, his game of the year, and then it's looking like Friday we will be having controversial figure, but I'm excited. Very progressive, not as progressive as I am. But we will be having Alyssa Mercante, former editor, Kotaku writer, currently in the fire with a bunch of the alt-right, far-right folks. So that'll be a fun chat. Hopefully that's going to be happening soon as well. So meantime, though, be well, be safe. Keep an eye out for the Moriarty Jaffe that will be coming up soon. And more importantly, or not more importantly, but as importantly, hopefully I'll see you back later this afternoon on the Gavin and Games show. Thank you, Tech Protect. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Bukaki. Thank you, RPG, for modding the show. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.